Sriram was waiting. What did you ask for? Oh, master, I asked to give Jnana Bhakti Vivek. What? You told me to remove all your difficult situations in the home, and you asked for Jnana Bhakti Vivek Vairagya. You asked me to pray for her to remove difficult situations. Go second time. Second time, third, three times even. Three times he asked same thing, Jnana Bhakti Vivek Vairagya. Then Swamiji finally said, oh, this trick is played by Sriram himself. When I go and stand before Sri Mother, I cannot play this. And now Swami Vivekananda has accepted the mother. Mother's Leela. And Sriram tells, go, don't worry. Mother will take care of whatever that need to be done. So that's the way it is. That's the way. So, you have to pray yourself. No proxy. No proxy. Each one is eligible to pray for God. And God wants each one of you to pray. You can take the help of other people, how to pray. But you have to pray. That's the way it is. And God gives us so many signals, which should give us a kind of saving our life. Signal. One ship was going in the ocean. It got into trouble, and the ship was almost sinking down in the ocean. There was only one survivor who somehow washed up on a small uninhabited island. He was the only person who survived. All others gone. And in that uninhabited island, he prayed feverishly for God to rescue him. And every day he scanned the horizon for help. But none seemed forthcoming. Exhausted, tired, he eventually managed to build a little cottage out of driftwood to protect him from the elements and to store his few possessions. And he was desperately waiting for some help to come. It's not so easy. There's nobody else. Uninhabited place. Then one day, after scavenging for food, he arrived home to find his little cottage in flames. The smoke rolling up to the sky. The worst had happened. Worst. What is the worst? Everything was lost. The man had built that cottage with so much difficulty in that uninhabited island, and that hut also caught fire. And there is nothing now. Zero. He was stunned, totally despaired. God, oh God, how can you do this to me? He cried. Early the next day, he was awakened by the sound of a ship that is approaching the island. Next day, it had come to rescue him. Only to rescue him that ship has come to him. And he was amazed, totally surprised. How did you know I was here? And the people who came in the ship to rescue him, they said, we saw a smoke signal, smoke coming out of the fire, cottage got fire. That smoke, they got a signal. It's easy to get discouraged when things are going bad. But we shouldn't lose heart. Because God is at work in our lives, even in the midst of pain and suffering. Remember, next time your little hut is burning to the ground, it just may be a smoke signal that summons the grace of God. So things happen in this life. Sometimes they act like signals so that you come closer to God. God is the only way to redeem us from all this unpleasantness in life. Once, a dog came to Sri Ramachandra bleeding from blows. Somebody has beaten that dog terribly. And Sri Ram called Lakshman. And he asked Lakshman to inquire why it had happened, why it had to receive so much severe blows. Please inquire. The dog expressed through his voice, I don't know how it expressed it, but it said, "Oh, I was beaten by a Brahmin with a stick." The dog was telling. The Brahmin was questioned. He said, the dog always was annoying him by coming across his path. Rama asked the dog, "Well, how do you want to punish the Brahmin?" Because he was beating him so much. The dog said, "Oh Ram, make him a manager of a temple." Sri Rama replied with wonder, "What? That would be a reward, not a punishment." The dog said, "No, Swamiji, no. I was a manager of a temple in my previous birth. It is impossible not to mishandle or misuse or misappropriate some fraction of God's money. When he is that manager, when this fellow becomes manager, he too will get like me this canine birth and perhaps got beaten too in a subsequent birth." So, in a funny way it is told. In fact, not only the dog or the Brahmin, but every one of us are living off the property of God. For does it not whole thing belong to God? What do we do in return for all benefits we derive from the property of the Lord? We should not simply eat and sit quiet. How to pay back the debt towards God? God has given so much to us. From our side, what should we do? It is said we have to render service to the poor and the helpless in a manner suitable to us. Serving the poor, most important. Don't hesitate to serve. Serve the needy people. That's why Swamiji says, the motto of the Ramakrishna mission, Atmano Mokshartham Jagat Dhitaya Cha. In order to realize God, serve the humanity. Serve. That word serve has tremendous meaning. Serve means seva. Seva. In that attitude, you must be humble, not egoistic, not boastful, not bossing over. No. Feel you are the servant of the servants of God. With that attitude, your service is accepted by God. And service becomes worship of God. This is Swami says, you serve the humanity, you realize God. To realize God, serve the humanity. Atma Mokshatam Jagadhitai. That's why you see all over India, hospitals, education centers, millions, and relief works. Wherever the calamity comes, Ramachandra runs first to render help to them. Just to help them. That's how the mission is working. And here, what kind of relief we are doing here, service to humanity? Spiritual education. Here they don't need our relief work in the way India requires. In America, they have got all facilities for relief work. But nobody is giving value education, spiritual ideas to the people in the right manner. And it's our responsibility. Swami Vivekananda came to America to spread the message of Vivekananda, spread the message of Sri Ramakrishna. To harmonize all religions, to harmonize all paths, to integrate all people belonging to all communities. As rivers coming from different directions, they all join together in the ocean. So also, all the people practicing different types of religion, they are all worshipping me alone. But Krishna himself says that. Yo, yo, mamam, Rattamixtu. Whoever, in whatever form he worships, he is worshipping me alone. Shri Krishna says in the Gita. Everything has been disclosed. There is no secret. So, that idea must be spread out properly. And we are all one family. That's why when Swami Vivekananda addressed Parliament, dear sisters and brothers, how 7,000 people stood up and had applause for 2 minutes. Because for the first time they are hearing, they are not strangers, they are our own. Swami really felt them, felt that each one is his brother, each one is his sister. And all the ladies in the platform, in the auditorium, they rushed towards Swamiji to see that great personality, to offer their homage to him. And he really felt that each one is brother and sister. So that idea, if you can practice in your life, how most blessed your life would be. So the idea is, you must give this idea to people here. So serving best in America is to spread the message of Vedanta, the glory of the Atman, the glory of the individual self. Each one is as important as the other, and each one is related to one another. We are all rays of the sun. Sun is Paramatma. We are all different rays, always connected with Paramatma. Rays cannot exist without sun. So we cannot exist without God. We are inseparably connected to God. We don't know, so we are suffering. If you know it, you are released from suffering. To know that, you need spiritual practice. You need spiritual struggle. So, it is like that. I hope these words of spiritual wisdom will help you to focus on yourself. Am I doing spiritual practice properly? You have to question yourself. And you have to judge yourself, not judging others. Judge yourself. Am I doing it? That's how we should go. Now, according to the proceeding of the program, we invite all of you to ask any questions you want to regarding the topic, how important it is to struggle in human life, not wasting human life, not wasting the time. No waste of time, no waste of human life. Not waiting for till the hair grows grey. If you are waiting for the hair to grow grey, you are discarded. You are disqualified. Don't utter that word even once. You are degrading yourself. Instead of upgrading, you are downgrading. No. No hair growing grey and after coloring it to black. Wait. No such things. Now is your session.
Please, those who want to ask questions, raise your hand. There's a microphone. You ask.
Always will be there, but answers are very simple. Difficult part is practice. That's a difficult part. But we have to do it. Without digging the earth, how do you sow the seed? Digging part is difficult, but you have to dig it. It's like that. You know the thing, but you must apply it in your life. Application is important. Don't simply stop at Shravan. Whole life you keep on hearing only. When you practice, without practice, you are the zero stage. You are not raising it up. You know it, but you are not doing it.
Maharaj, you made an important, interesting point that in this country, service means giving spiritual education. That's good for the monks and so on, but for us, family life people, worldly people, how do we do that? How do we provide service?
Now, when I say in America, spiritual education is to be given, in America, people living means you are also included in that. I meant all of you who are living in America, not simply white people. All people. What I am telling is, in this world full of temptations, bhoga, the moment you go outside, you are simply drawn like a forceful current towards it. You can't resist. Before you think of resistance, you already fallen. So the gravitation is so great, unless you are very strong and sincere, you will yield to the temptations. So these spiritual ideas will help you to resist the temptations. Why the kids are behaving so rudely? Very hopeless. 100% wrong. Because parents are not giving any attention to them. Secondly, when the kids go to school, extremely hopeless atmosphere. So how can the children grow without any proper education? The people who have to give that education are not giving. So as these kids grow up, they become wild, ferocious, full of hatred, jealousy, crime, also. What a tragedy it is. Highly civilized country in America. What horrible crimes are going on. It is unbelievable. People killing other people for no reason. Life is treated like a trash. Life is treated like a trash. They're ruining. The point is, they're not only ruining themselves, they're ruining others also. That's the worst thing that's happening. So, whoever has understood little bit of spiritual ideas, try to practice it. That's the best form of service that you can do. Suppose you are a family person, you know what to be done, what not to be done, and do it properly. Be a model to your children, and the children will follow. If the parents themselves go in a different way, how can you expect the children to go nicely? You can't expect like that. So there should be a kind of coordination, behavior. If parents do well, children definitely do very well. Definitely. See, some of the parents come there in a temple in Chicago, and they bring the kids also. Amazing part is, as soon as the kid comes, it makes Sastang Pranam. Not half. Sastang, complete, full length. They lay on the ground, touch the feet, and they keep lying there, and they have to lift them. Who taught them all those things? Because parents they do, and they also follow. If the parents hesitate to bend their head, their children also will not bend their head. That means you have to crush your ego. Ahankar. Ahankaram, balam, tarpam. 6 verses in the Gita. These are the demonic qualities. Daivi Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, 17th chapter, clearly defined about it. Develop good qualities. Cultivate. Then only you can improve. Not only yourself, your children also will become very good. And make them come in contact with holy association. See, many people come to ashrama here. I told, bring your kids. Let them be in touch with the ashrama. They are afraid. Oh, my child comes to ashrama regularly, he will become a monk. Let him become monk. What is that? Why do you want that him also to be a friend like you also? Why do you want that? That's the peculiar way of thinking people. Peculiar way. But definitely if the children come regularly and keep contact with ashrama, they become very, very good, I should say. Gold, they become like gold. I myself have seen in Bangalore. In Bangalore we have a very famous ashrama. We have a children's section. Every day about 80 boys come. As soon as the school is over, all the children come to the ashrama. And they give various activities. They have to teaching Bhajans, teaching chanting, etc. And they give some work also. And they give some games, volleyball, basketball. And they give milk also to every child. So that they're contented. They're so happy to rush to the ashram. Rush. And they keep on doing up to college level. Not simply coming a few times and stop. No. You stop in the middle, no effect. You've done through continuously till the mind gets real maturity. Then you will see wonders. And so many have become monks now. It's true. It's not a joke to become a monk. Not at all. Not that they become perfect, but by practicing they become perfect. It's called Vividisha Sannyasa. Vividisha Sannyasa. Vividisha Sannyasa means in the process of attaining mastership over renunciation, celibacy. You're practicing it, struggling. It's worth struggling. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. Difficult, but not impossible. And how could that happen if you had not that bisection at all? Same way there's, for women also, girls also there. Lot of girls have joined the Sadhana mission. Without that, how do you expect? It's very important. Without cultivating the plants in the nursery, how can you grow the plant outside? The infant stage should be taken care of nicely. After you put there, they grow very well. That portion is very important. Here, no such education. 24 hours they are sitting in front of the TV and losing all their character, even little character also goes away. And dirty things they see TV now the technology is so developed, they are so only dirty things. So even the most moral person becomes highly immoral by seeing that dirty things. And you are tempted to see. How can you expect God should come and help you? How can God help you if you are not trying to help yourself? God helps those who help themselves. That's the secret.
I have a couple of questions on it. You talked about control of mind as a...
So loudly please, I can't hear.
Yeah, could you hear me now?
Yes.
Raise your voice.
You talked about the control of mind, whether mind controls you or you control the mind. So a couple of questions is that when you have physical suffering, is that pretty easy to control your mind? And when you are having a fluency, a lot of mind, is that mind controls you? Another thing is,
No, put one question at a time.
okay, so control of mind and whether mind controls you or you control your mind. My first question is, when you have physical suffering, is that pretty easy to control your mind rather than mind controls you?
Suffering comes to you because of your...
I talked about physical suffering. You are having some kind of disease, or you are not feeling well, you are ill. I talked about the physical suffering.
Physical suffering also has got some root, cause for that. Without cause, the suffering doesn't come.
Okay, physical suffering can happen to
Yes.
any reason. Thakur was having a cancer in his throat.
So what?
So what I'm asking you that...
So what? What is referring to cancer?
No. My
You are
question
referring to
is...
Sri Ramakrishna. What is the reference meant for? You are referring to Sri Ramakrishna's cancer. What is it meant for? What's your point in referring to Sri Ramakrishna's cancer? What's your point?
My point is, if you have physical suffering, is that easy to control your mind? That is the only question.
Suffering comes to give you an awakening. It comes to educate you, to make you go towards God, and to find out the cause and remove the whatever that is responsible for suffering. Sri Ramakrishna suffered cancer. He himself explained why he got that cancer. Sri Ramakrishna's body was not a karmic body like ours. Ours, we are all governed by our karmas. But Sri Ramakrishna was not governed by his karma. This God Supreme came to our level to help us, to lift us up. Still, why did he suffer? The reason is, he himself said, in order to obey the cosmic law, he took up all the impurities of Girish Chandra Ghosh, who had committed Himalayan blunders, as he himself said. And because of that he got that cancer. Chidananda himself tells that. And there's a very good book has come. Chidananda Ji from St. Louis. Excellent book. Gish Chandra Ghosh. Big volume has come. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Please read that book. So that's because through suffering, Gish Chandra Ghosh suffered a lot. Mental